What's up, everybody? It's your boy Stephen J, and I'm here with Simply Steve, and we're talking about wrestling. WWE, WWF, UWF, WCW, AWA. We may even talk a little bit of TNA, but we're gonna get right into it, talking about Monday Night Raw. We didn't come to you yesterday. I don't know what we were doing, but I was doing work around the house, so I didn't have enough time to be able to do the show. But we're here. We still gonna try to do it every Tuesday and upload it the day after Monday Night Raw. So we're gonna get right into it, talking about Monday Night Raw. What did Raw open up at? Well, he's getting a phone call in the middle of the show.
I'm back from Indiana, whatever. Whoever was calling me, I didn't know. I don't remember how I started off. It's 2 days ago. I don't remember for some reason.
How did it start off?
I can't remember.
He's looking it up. Anyway, so we're gonna give it our grade. My grade, I'm gonna give Raw. I'm gonna give Raw a B minus. I'm gonna give it a B minus. What about you?
I'm gonna give it a C plus, close to B.
C plus. Why is that?
Because it wasn't disappointing. It was pretty good Raw. A couple of good matches in there.
What was your match of the night?
Cesaro versus Sheamus.
Was that my match of the night? Yeah, that was my match of the night too. Cesaro and Sheamus. That was a pretty good match. I think Sheamus is about to turn heel.
I already told you that.
I think he's about to turn heel. Very good fella. The way he lost last night. First of all, if you're going to get a guy over, I think my thing is leaning. My tripod, I got to look at that. Because I know it's on the camera, seems like we're going this way. But anyway, if a guy's going to lose, here's how I think he should either give a clean pin or he should lose because of outside interference. He should not lose a match where Paul Heyman jumps up on the ring acting like that's 1980, early 1990. Jumps up on the ring and acts like he's going to get in. Sheamus is distracted. Cesaro gets the pin on Sheamus. So, I mean, come on. That's just like, come on, who does that anymore? But, I mean, and it is just, it's not Paul Heyman's style. And Cesaro's already over. So you're not going to really get him over by getting him cheap wins like that. So I didn't like that. Even though the match was good. Him and Cesaro actually match up. Cesaro got breasts too. You see, he got a dark ring about that big. But anyway, Cesaro's already over. So you don't really have to get him over, whether him being a bad guy or anything like that. He's already over. If fans like him, I still think he needs to fight for his music back. Because even when he came out, I love London crowd. They was on point. Oh, yeah, even when he came out, they were still doing their da, 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 da. So everyone still loves that music. They want to participate. Give the WWE universe what they want. So,
Raw started off with the Wyatt family promo.
The Wyatt family. London loves the Wyatt family. They love the Wyatt London. London, we're here. So it starts off with that. And even, okay, what was this, 19 Retro Day? For the simple fact that they're in the ring, Cena music hits, Rowan and Harper jump out of the ring. You immediately knew John Cena. When does John Cena ever take forever to come down to the ring? Either he's going to run head on like he did with CM Punk, like he did with Brock Lesnar, like he did with Ryback, like he did with whomever he faced. But, I mean, come on. You knew as soon as they jumped out of the ring, like, here he comes. that he was going to come from behind or underneath the ring or whatever, or something like that. So, but I am getting tired of it. But here's the beauty of the whole Wyatt family Cena feud. They did it before, but they didn't, continue it. So now they brought it back. John Cena has never feuded with anybody longer than one pay-per-view. Longer than one pay-per-view.
It's not true. He's feuded with Randy Orton for longer than one pay-per-view. And I'm not talking about their last feud. Back in 2009 when they were going for the WWE Championship, they were going back and forth.
How many pay-per-views did they face each other?
Three
straight pay-per-views?
And he did the same thing with Batista, WrestleMania. Then it was Extreme Rules, and then after that it was.
You're right. I shouldn't have said very long because there's a pay-per-view each month, and really you basically fighting a guy for 4 weeks in a month. So 4 weeks on Raw, that's it. 4 weeks on SmackDown, so whatever. But the fact that they're making this a long feud versus it being so quick and over after the one pay-per-view and they just go both their separate ways. The fact that they're still fighting, they still battling. That's how they did it back in the day. That's why I really love the best out of 5 match between who was it? John Cena and Booker T. It was 5 weeks long because they did it every Raw. Best out of 5. So that's the type of match I like, but I don't like Cena. I still don't like Cena. But I like the fact that they're continuing with the feud. It is kind of getting on my nerves a little bit, but for the fans that do like it and whatever. And even London was, the Londoners were cheering for Harper. I like Harper when he did that scissors move around the tilt-a-whirl or whatever you want to call it on Cena. I was surprised. And then he did the standing drop kick, which was again, wow, okay, Harper, he's doing his thing pretty well. And I still love the fact that the London fans, when Cena was in the ring, they jumped on the bandwagon singing John Cena song about John Cena sucks. John Cena sucks.
It's all just a setup for when John Cena goes heel. That's all it is. For John Cena to go heel, it has to take a while. So,
no, not really. Because here it is. Hold on. Hulk Hogan, when he went heel, when he went to NWO, everybody was shocked. Hogan went heel, but it was a great move because it went over with everybody, and people love Hogan regardless. When Stone Cold went heel, it didn't go over as much.
He even said that if he could went back in time, he would have changed it because he didn't really like it that much.
But I'm saying it didn't go over that much. Who else went heel? Even when Undertaker went heel, it didn't really work that much per se. And I'm trying to think who else. Can't think of who else, but we'll see. I think Cena's already been heel, but he's been a face more than he's been a heel.
10 years, I believe it is.
So he's been a face more than he's been a heel. The Doctor of Thugonomics, he came in, he had that swag about him and everything. So
he could go back to that if he going heel.
I don't think he should go back to the Doctor of Thugonomics because I like the Doctor of Thugonomics because it was just like, yo, here's this cat, I don't care, whatever. But Cena's now as, I don't care, but I really do, but I don't care. I think he has to come up with a new, like Hogan went to Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus Hulk Hogan, it was Hollywood or whatever. So he had that different persona. When Sting went Crow, he had that different persona. Stone Cold was basically the same, but he did go from Austin 316, DTA to what? I mean, literally the what chant, whatever that they're still actually doing right now. But John Cena has to come up with a total different personality versus Doctor of Thugonomics because, Rock basically destroyed his Doctor of Thugonomics. You gonna come on and rap to me? Not man to man and throw down, you gonna rap? Nah, nobody wants to see that right now. He needs to come up with whatever, like really booty down, butt kicking, whatever. So, but yeah, Sheamus Cesaro, that was my match of the night.
Good match.
Stephanie comes out.
Next is Big E versus.
No, I ain't talking about that. I'm gonna get to it. Stephanie comes out because everyone's wondering what's gonna happen with the WWE title. Here, the old rule was you had to defend the title once every 30 days. Once every 30 days, you had to defend the title. If he has a broke neck, whatever, and they haven't said, or at least have you read, the severity of his neck injury. So even Edge said, I saw a clip of Edge talking about his injury, and I think he was talking about Kurt Angle's injury, and he was saying that they told me not to do some of the stuff that I was doing, but I was young and I didn't care and I wanted to please the fans. He says, looking back at it now, I wish I would have listened to those guys. And he was talking about how the WWE has so much safety and precaution, and I assume that happened after Owen Hart died. But he was just basically saying a lot of young cats, they're doing a lot of amazing things, but in the long run, they got to be careful. So Stephanie comes out and she says she wants Daniel Bryan to come next week to relinquish the title.
That's what's best for business.
It is what's best for business. If he's hurt, and JBL said it best, if he's hurt and he can't defend the title, he has to relinquish the title. You don't want to relinquish the title, but again, injuries happen. Who expected Edge after the match that he had the night before to come back on Raw and says, hey, I have to retire because the doctors won't release me or clear me or whatever. Nobody expected that. So you never know. Who expected Owen Hart was going to fall from the ring that night? So who expected Owen Hart to drop Stone Cold on his head? And Stone Cold ended up having to get surgery. Stone Cold was out for a while after he had his surgery and everything. So what's best for business is you hold off, you strip Daniel Bryan of the title, and you hold a tournament. Matter of fact, if you hold the tournament, that's a week long, you can make this lead up to SummerSlams. And hopefully Daniel Bryan is healed and ready to come back by SummerSlams. And hopefully you got enough clout to get CM Punk back. Now, so if you hold a tournament, tournament that lasts from now up until that point, like each week, once a week, not on SmackDown, but simply on Raw, where you got guys battling kind of like the Field of 64 in the NCAA tournament, where okay, these are put together, and you can have this, that, and who's gonna match up, and by the end, Daniel Bryan gets a special whatever, What you gonna say?
Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't really know what he's gonna do. He may give up the title since he won't be back in time. But I was talking to a friend of mine and he was like,
who's your friend? What's his name?
Addy.
His name is Addy?
Yeah.
That's a guy?
Yeah.
Addy. A-D-D-Y. A-D-D-I-E.
A-D-D-Y.
Okay. Alright.
And he was like, do you remember a while back when CM Punk had got injured and he was WWE champion? He wasn't, and he was scheduled to face Ryback in a table, ladders, and chairs match. He didn't go because his knee was injured. And I was like, well, that's a completely different injury.
Who?
CM Punk. Because he was in that TLC to defend the championship. And I was like, well, that's a completely different injury from a neck injury. But he's like, CM Punk will come back at Payback if Dan Bryan's going to give up the title. And I was like, I'm not sure if CM Punk will come back. I don't know. He's getting married in June, so I don't know.
To AJ.
So, I don't know if he'll come back. I know she said she'll come back, but I don't know if he's coming back. I was kind of like, last time they were in Chicago, they were expecting CM Punk and he didn't show up. Last year at Payback he came back, but that was only to face Jericho. So I don't know.
So
the tournament, yeah, they should do a tournament if he's gonna give up the title. They should do a tournament. I don't think it's gonna last till SummerSlam though.
There's a way that you can actually make it last. like you have like say a battle for the first week. We're gonna have like a battle royal, one on SmackDown, one on Raw, and the last 10 guys that are surviving in the battle royal goes into this bid or whatever, and then they're ranked. If you go in their power rankings, so based on the power rankings, this is how like so number 1 is going to face number 15 or number 16. Number 2 will face 15. Number 3, 14, and so on, whatever. And then Daniel Bryan, he comes out or whatever or something special, kind of like the Royal Rumble where they were supposed to be 30 guys. It ended up being 31 guys. So I mean, you can always make special accommodation or whatever. So. That's what I think should happen. At least it will be very exciting. Matter of fact, what they should resurrect is War Games from WCW days, where they had the 2 rings, or it was like 3 rings, and 1 ring was higher than the other, and they was all 3 guys were bad. Look up War Games of WCW. Great pay-per-view. A lot of brutal. That's where you had the Road Warriors, Nikita Koloff, Ivan Koloff, the 4 Horsemen. Sting and Lex Luger, all those guys. War Games, oh my God, those were some bad matches back in the day. That's where basically Hell in a Cell came from, because they had like the big old cage or whatever at WCW. So then you had the Beat the Clock this week. Started off with Big E versus who did he face? Was it Dolph Ziggler? Ryback. Here's the thing. What happened to Ryback? Big E versus Ryback would have been like, yes, kind of like a main event. I'll take you back. I told you we do history there. When Mabel first came in, well, what's his name? Big Daddy Z or Big Baddie Z or Big Baddie, whatever. Who was Mabel? What was his name?
Big Daddy V.
Big Daddy V. When he came in, his first feud was with The Undertaker. Well, when he went heel, I'll say, because he was a tag team with some other guy. I forgot what they were called, but they were. I used to love their finishing maneuver, by the way. Anyway, when he started feuding with The Undertaker, it was the match that you wanted to see. Him versus The Undertaker. And when they got into the ring, everybody like just jumped up. I'm trying to remember. It was either a Battle Royal or a Royal Rumble where 2 guys that everyone wanted to see fight finally met each other in the ring. But it was in the middle of a battle royal, so it really didn't, And basically, like when the Shield first bought the Wyatts, everybody like wanted to see that, because they was like, "Oh my God, this is what we want! This is what we want!" So Big E and Ryback 5 months ago was like that. We want to see Big E versus Ryback. Ryback's a big boy. So is Big E. We want to see him match power. I want to see Big E versus the Alexander Rusev. But and matter of fact, if you turn Ryback face right now, he will be an excellent match against Alexander Rusev. Put Ryback on some yellow and blue, red, white, and blue. Feed me more. Going against Ryback, going against Rusev. Oh man, I'm telling you, that will be the banger for SummerSlam. Ryback will be back. You can't top that. Come on, man.
Okay, I can see you're going with this. You gotta have some top guy who's straight USA, like you said.
Right.
Going against somebody who's anti-USA. Okay.
But my point in the beginning was Big E, Ryback. 5 months ago, that would have been the match of the night. The match was over in 5 minutes. Big E won. He lost his flair. It was very exciting when he won the Intercontinental title over, who did he beat?
Curtis
Axel. Nobody liked anyway. So when he beat Curtis Axel, everybody's like, yeah, Big E. Yeah. But then when he got the title, it was just like, he ain't doing nothing. This is why you need some guys with a chip on their shoulder that goes out and starts feud. Case in point, the Viper, when he was a legend killer, he went out and he was just beating people up for no reason whatsoever. He'd be walking down the herd, hey, Randy Orton. And he automatically give you an RKO for no reason.
I remember that time he slapped the Undertaker.
Exactly. So, I mean, Big E was just fan favorite, and I'm waiting for a bad guy to challenge me, whatever. You're a big boy. Not that many people gonna challenge you. You got to go out there like Mark Henry and just start some crap or whatever. What other match happened?
One after that was R-Truth and Naomi versus Fandango and Layla, which never even started. So I guess we can kind of skip that.
Yeah, I don't know. But London loves Fandango. I think the Fandango that started overseas. Because it was started overseas, and then once he got back to the U.S., that's when it just went crazy. Because it was right after WrestleMania. They was overseas. So I think the Fandangoing thing started overseas. Maybe it's been in London.
Okay. After that was the Stephanie thing, but we already talked about that. After that was Heath Slater versus Rusev.
He got the heck beat. Okay, where was the other 3B?
Oh, they got beat up.
By who?
Rusev.
Okay, 3 guys against 1 guy. Come on, they really trying to pull him over, but you still not giving him anybody to beat. Come on, nobody wants to see.
We thought he was going after him. It was gonna be him and Big E. Oh wait, since Big E lost that challenge, I guess it could still be him.
Again, we never. Again, this guy is not going over, and I'm just gonna take a pause right here. Before Rusev made his debut, you saw every week there was a commercial, a promo for Rusev, and
actually Lana would come out and speak for him, and she leave.
Yeah, and that's his girlfriend, by the way. Anyway, he was cutting a lot of promos. Here's my problem: all these promos, you got nothing to show for it yet.
I do remember when he first showed up. It was actually during the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and nothing. He didn't make an impact. He didn't
eliminate nobody?
I don't remember, but if I can't remember it, he didn't make an impact. He didn't have a moment. Remember when Stone Cold sat on top of the ring and he was like, who you got next? Or whatever. He did not make an impact. If you make an impact, Jerry the King Lawler made an impact. It was a 1 second or 3 second where he got into the ring and was like, bam, and he was out of the ring. That's an impact where you made a name. Kofi Kingston making a name. Rusev, what? Was he in there? I thought he debuted already. Anyway,
just because it takes a bunch of guys to take you out of the ring, which is what happened, how you got out,
but again,
it doesn't mean anything.
It does mean something, because if you're bad as everyone says you are, you're going to make an impact. You're going to make an impact, and it's going to be a memorable impact. See my Transformers in the back. Anyway, but I'm going to talk about this because I was watching it. Rusev, so far, he's got 2 thumbs down for his debut, and he's been there for about almost 2 months now. Again, no impact, not impressed whatsoever. So you got these promos now. Believe. What?
Oh yeah, that guy's supposed to be debuting on SmackDown.
Yeah, and then you got Adam Rose and his dumb groupies or whatever. I can't stand that.
Maybe without his groupies, he'd be better.
Hold up though. Here's my point. Back in the day, we told you we do history here. I'm thinking about Curtis Axel's dad. Look it up on YouTube. Of all Mr. Perfect's promos, before he debuted in WWF, he was doing all these things. He was hitting home runs. He was throwing touchdowns. He was hitting 3-pointers, and he was doing something with a tennis ball. But he was doing all these incredible feats and promos. So when he finally came, it was just like, let's see what he can do. And he delivered a perfect plex. Alberto Del Rio, when all the promos that he had before he came. Again, what happened when he got here? He delivered. Trying to think, who else?
Took him out.
Who else had a good promo when he came and he delivered on the promo? I can't think of nobody else. But these, I'm looking at Rusev. Not who?
He had a pretty good run for a while.
Not really, because he's not here. The problem is you didn't put him against the right
Rey Mysterio.
Right. So even if it's not the real Sin Cara, I still would want to see it.
They were teaming up for a bit, which was exciting. But
my point is, if you look at Rusev, bad, disappointing. You look at Believe, I don't even understand his promos. You gotta believe. Adam Rose, I don't understand. Is he a pimp with the lollipop in his mouth or whatever? So I have no idea. whatsoever. What's going on with that? So what else happened in Raw?
Rob Van Dam versus Alberto Del Rio beat the clock.
RVD won, which I could have swore RVD pulled the pants. That's what it looked like to me, that he pulled the tights. But okay, the match was all right. I still think RVD's he's slower. He is slower. We want the old RVD. He's old. But you know what? If he's still wrestling, I think we need to bring him back. Sabu. You know who Sabu is? Oh. Sabu. He's the homicidal, the genocidal, whatever, from Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW. Him and Rob Van Dam used to go at it a lot. They had some excellent matches. Look it up on YouTube. Sabu versus RVD. Rob's getting old, and the match was okay. I give the match a B. It still wasn't my match of the night, but it was alright.
We already know Rob's gonna lose. Before he leaves the WWE, he needs to do something big. He's done a lot of big stuff. I'm not gonna say he hasn't, but he needs to do something big to say, I came back. This is what I did, and now I can leave satisfied. When they were promoting him coming back to the WWE for Money in the Bank, I thought he was gonna win. Well, but it ended up being Randy Orton.
Well, they need to. He needs to go back to his old thing of Mr. Monday Night. I like when he was Mr. Monday Night. Mr. Monday Night. Anyway, what else happened on Raw?
Seth Rollins and Batista.
Never got really into a match, so I can't. I'm disappointed because again, this is how the match is gonna between the Evolution and Shield gonna end up. Even though Seth Rollins talked about getting beat up, didn't question, where was my boys at or whatever. Anyway, so my point is, I love the feud. I still like the feud between Evolution and Shield. But if every time I see you on SmackDown or Raw, it always ends in a disqualification due to outside interference, after a while, that's getting the NWO-ish and getting old. We don't want to see that anymore.
First of all, when I first heard that they said it was banned from ringside, I knew first that it was not going to be. Everybody was going to come. I knew that Triple H and Randy Orton were going to find a way to come out there, and I knew Seth Rollins was going to come out there alone a second time, because that's just going to be where's Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose?
Was that the last match?
No. After that, it was the Divas match. I don't care. Next match was another beat the clock, Dolph Ziggler and Mark Henry.
I'm very disappointed because I'm still upset about what they're doing to Dolph Ziggler.
He actually won, but he just didn't win the time.
Again, I don't have anything to say about it. I can understand Mark Henry. He's often injured. OI, often injured. So I can understand him not getting the chance. And just imagine what would his career would have been like when he was still a champion if he hadn't gotten hurt. So
you get hurt, you just lost.
Again, if you're riding a wave, you better pray that you don't get hurt. That same thing what's going on with Daniel Bryan right now.
Oh man, it's gonna suck for him. It's gonna suck, but people can chant yes all they want.
All it takes is somebody new to come in like a Fandango and give the people something else to do. If you give the people to take their minds away off of Daniel Bryan, I guarantee you, when he comes back, he's not going to be as effective.
He's the new face of the company, basically. You can keep saying it's Cena, but that's why they're turning Cena heel, because Daniel Bryan's the top face right now.
They're not going to. Cena's still the milk and bread and milk or whatever.
He can make as many Make-A-Wishes as he wants. It's
not even that,
which is good. But
I like the fact
Daniel Bryan is the face.
I do like the fact that Cena is not the main event, and he's definitely not the close to the main event. I'm glad that
he's like the third or last.
I'm just glad that he's like a mid-carder right now.
Can't keep John Cena main event forever.
Yeah, because they're you know what they're trying to do, which is what I said. Let him beat Ric Flair's record. What else?
The Exotic Express invades London. So what's his name was there?
Yeah, nobody care about that. Although I will say Zeb Coulter is funny. Where his stuff with Adam Rose has been funny. So I will give him that.
Last match,
We got 11 minutes.
John Cena versus Luke Harper.
That was a good match. That was actually my second good match of the night. But it was close to the first, but I'm going to give it a second. Only because of Harper and because of the fans in London and what they're doing.
London.
But here's one of the things they showed on Raw. That,
First of all, I told you it's going to be a last man standing match.
I think this week, or someplace online, WWE Network, which I don't even know if we're utilizing it. You guys watching it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am getting my money's worth, and they haven't paid me for 2 months. Anyway, there's going to be a fight for the NXT World Heavyweight Championship between Tyson Kidd and somebody else. Why is Tyson Kidd in NXT? Can somebody explain that?
Because he hasn't done nothing since he was.
I know he hasn't done anything.
Since he won the tag team title, since he lost tag team titles, he has not done anything.
Okay, but correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't NXT for no-name rookies or indie leaguers?
It's for people who are trying to get their dream of.
Right, but like Daniel Bryan, like Ryback, like Wade Barrett, those guys, like the Bo Leave guy, like Adam Rose, who's coming in, all came through NXT because if you say, hey, Adam Rose, if you said Ryback, Skip Sheffield, or whatever, I don't know who that is, Big E, I don't know who that is. But Tyson Kidd came in with his cousin, the British Bulldog son, and they won the tag team titles. And then when he got fired or whatever, and Tyson Kidd stayed or whatever, I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense. He's fighting for it. He's a seasoned veteran. So then we got.
There was a lot of good talent, I'm telling you.
I put it like this: the WWE. This is the most talented the WWE has been since the Attitude Era, meaning that you had Rock, Stone Cold, and D-Generation X all at the top and pushing them forward over WCW. But they got a lot of talent like that they're not utilizing. You got Ryback, you got Dolph Ziggler, you got The Miz, you got Big E. You got Wade Barrett is on his way up if he can stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, he's on his way up. Who else I think is good, but it's not getting enough time? I'll say Randy Orton. He's getting time, but he's not really getting a push. And again, he hasn't defended his title. So if they do what I think they're going to do, that should have a play in it when it comes to the tournament. But they got a lot of guys that they're really not utilizing. And I forgot, Alberto Del Rio. They're not utilizing him. And whatever happened to Christian? Did he get hurt again?
Yes, he did.
Dang. Christian
was on his way to get.
I wanted one more match. But I guess not. Can we help you? So we got my son asked me, can he be on the show today? Because he wanted to express his displeasure and what's happening with John Cena. Why he's a John Stinking Cena fan, I have no idea. So at this time, we're going to bring in Eli Shaw so he can talk about his displeasure with John Cena. Come this way.
What is it about John Cena?
Let's give him, well, whatever you want to talk about. Come on in. Let's give him a hand, everyone.
Huh?
That's only one clap. Randy Watson clap.
Huh?
You say it.
Why? You must know what it is.
Okay, well, I want you to talk about it. What is it? It's Elisha, y'all. ES. That's his name. ES. Or
I
Shujaba.
was talking with brother Elias.
Look at the camera. You gotta talk to the people.
I was talking with him.
Elisha, y'all.
I was talking with him about
Shujaba.
why Stephanie's still going out the Dale Bryan and Triple H is off and he doesn't care. He's worried about the share, but Stephanie's still on him. That was what I was talking about.
Because Triple H is busy with the Shield right now.
I just said. I said, why is Stephanie still on Dale Bryan?
I understand that because Triple H is busy, so she has to be because she never really liked Daniel Bryan, and I think what needs to happen is we need to see that the big dog back is what we need to see.
Who?
The big dog with the power walk, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Matter of fact, I would love to see Shane O'Mac back. I'm still calling for Shane O'Mac, although he was working for some Chinese company, but he got fired or he quit or something like that. As last time I heard, he was some type of tech firm or whatever. But he's no longer doing that right now. But I think Stephanie, look, Daniel Bryan is the best thing that is still going in the WWE right now, and the best way to continue with it is to have somebody feuding with it. So she's still part of the Authority, so that's why she's using Kane to fight with Daniel Bryan, to keep the people interested, because hey, he's what's on fire right now, and if he's on fire, you got to give him the ball and see what is he going to do with it. But the question that we had earlier was, now that he's hurt and now that he had surgery, what is he going to do? He can't even go. He can't even move his neck now. He's going like this. That's all he can do. If you say Daniel Bryan, look here, he can't look. But is that it? Mm-hmm. What about John Cena?
I don't say anything.
You love Cena?
I never said anything about
it. Actually, yesterday, Lexi did say he's starting to get tired of John Cena because he's still feuding with the Wyatt family.
Why? Do you want him to beat the Wyatt family, or you want the Wyatt family to beat John Cena?
No, it's just that they still facing each other. I'm like,
look, I would rather see John Cena versus the Wyatt family versus Santino versus Fandango with that dumb chick, whatever her name is. Yeah, I'd rather see that over that. So they need to give Fandango. Matter of fact, I would love to see Fandango because he is a great competitor, but I think he would match up well with Dolph Ziggler. I think he will match up well with Dolph Ziggler. So there you have it on that. So you got a couple minutes to talk about the rebound from SmackDown. We had a lot to talk about today.
All right,
Stephen J.
So my whole grade for SmackDown, I have to give it a D.
Wow.
A lot of very disappointing stuff on here. Alright, so SmackDown kicks off with John Cena, and he's talking about how he put together Bray Wyatt is challenging him to a last man standing match, and he accepts everything like that.
That was stupid.
And so
I saw that.
And so he's like, okay, I'm gonna have an open challenge. Bray Wyatt to pick anybody he wants. Okay. Next was the Usos, and they beat the Rose Brothers. That match was actually pretty good. I'm gonna have to give it a B. Although Cody, I know they're setting him up to turn to heel, but he was kind of doing a couple of heel moves there. So and after they lost, everything like Cody was throwing, he's mad and he walked away from his brother and everything like that. So yeah, but the match is still pretty good. So I'll give it a B. Next, El Torito beats Heath Slater. So I gave that a D because for some reason they're still doing this feud with them, and I don't know why, but they still are.
Again, the Bull Boy, I'm tired of him.
Then we had so
you're not supposed to be eating that. No.
Dolph Ziggler had sent out a tweet.
No, put it back so you can eat it for breakfast tomorrow. No, we got lunch meat.
Dolph Ziggler had sent out a tweet, and he was like, Batista is the weak link of Evolution. He's like, he hasn't adapted or something like that. He hasn't done anything since he's been back. No, which is true. So Ziggler and Batista had a match, and Ziggler won by disqualification after Batista gave him a low blow, and he basically decimated him and gave him like a couple Batista bombs.
Who, Ziggler?
No, Batista.
Oh, gave who?
Dolph Ziggler won by disqualification.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah. Okay. Because Batista gave him a low blow.
Look at those lizards.
Then Titus O'Neil versus Sheamus. Sheamus won with a bro kick. After Titus was all like, get out my ring, yada yada yada. This is my ring, everything like that. I own it. Bro kick, and that was it.
Hey, didn't I tell y'all a couple weeks ago, a couple episodes back, we will not be hearing anything from Darren Young anytime soon? Have we? No, we have not. He's probably the guy in the bunny costume.
Then we had, surprisingly, we had Santino face not Fandango, but he faced Damian Sandow. Quick little match. Cobra.
He's losing his flair right now.
Oh yeah, he used to be on top. Tag team champion, Intercontinental champion, United States champion. He was doing good until he got hurt.
Damien Sandow?
No, I'm talking about Santino.
No.
Sandow really didn't do anything at all. He hasn't done anything. Then they did after they lost. He lost. Sandow kind of threw a temper tantrum too. He grabbed the mic and started talking about stuff, and then they cut his mic off. Then we had Cesaro beat R-Truth, which I guess was just a past time.
Poor R-Truth.
And then finally, John Cena beat Eric Rowan, and then he had the Usos with him to back him up. So that way he was.
Because you don't have anybody in the tag team division that's worthy enough for whatsoever.
And like I've been saying, like I said last week, they're setting up the Usos versus Eric Rowan and Luke Harper for the tag team title match.
That would be good. I would agree with that. But I think it's about to end, y'all. So for Stephen J.
Simply Steve, yo.
And Simply Steve. And Shujaba. ES. Elisha. This is Talking About Wrestling. We out. Peace.